God of War and Twisted Metal creator David Jaffe had a complete and utter meltdown and spaz out after Vera Dark roasted him for his comments claiming that Dragon Age the Veilguard was killed by so-called YouTube grifters. Well, this year over on phantompulse.com. You can find the link in the description below if you'd like to read yourself. I encourage you to head on over there or become a paid subscriber and help us fight back against this woke ideology that is trying to destroy our very society, destroy our entertainment in video games, movies, television, books, tabletop games, etc. We are not going to let this happen. We are going to fight back against this. So, Dark roasted Jaffy in a recent video upload covering our article, my article, where Jaffy blamed so-called YouTube grifters for killing Dragon Age the Veilguard and compared transgenderism to being black. She said this: Jaffy is salty. Average people can take to social media and voice their opinions, and he is getting angry that companies may start actually listening to gamers after the multiple failures they've had over the years. And now, of course, he's blaming YouTube grifters for killing Dragon Age the Veilguard when it simply was a trash game. Later in the video, Dark noted she has a history with Jaffy. She said, he made a video about me in the past, which I couldn't help but laugh at because of how ridiculous he sounded. He made this video because I said Alyssa Mercante making jokes about the Trump attempted assassination wasn't funny, and how David here said that he thought it was kind of suspicious and might have been staged, and that wasn't cool. He actually originally said that it was staged. He made that very clear. He got a lot of pushback for it, and then he backtracked. I know this because I covered it, I think, over on That Park Place when I was working there. But he whipped out a book about the WWE and Vince McMahon and said, oh, there's a lot of information about Trump in here and how he's good at understanding an audience and entertaining a crowd. But that's literally anyone in life, let's be honest. And every single political candidate is just trying to convince you to vote for them. Trump is just extremely good at it. But at the end of the day, every single politician is like this. But instead, he decides to single out Trump, which is just absurd. He also said, oh, he's older than me, so he knows more about politics than I do, and that I should go F myself. So the one action, I guess we'll call it, wasn't very great, but I'm one of the grifters he's calling out, even though his definition of a grifter is someone sitting online making videos talking about a game when he's literally doing the same exact thing. And so Jaffy did not take kindly to this. We're actually going to listen to this. Let's take a listen to what he has to say here. I mean, it's complete and total meltdown and spaz out.
I said Alyssa Mercante making jokes about the Trump attempted assassination wasn't funny, and how David here said that he thought it was kind of suspicious and it might have been staged, and that wasn't cool. But he whipped out.
So you can see there he's nodding along. He's agreeing. He thought that making fun of an attempted assassination was funny. It was fine. I mean, it just shows you his character.
A book about the WWE and Vince McMahon and said, oh, there's a lot of information about Trump in here and how he's good at understanding an audience and entertaining a crowd. But that's literally anyone in life, let's be honest. Every single political candidate is just trying to convince you to vote for them. Trump is just extremely good at it. But at the end of the day, every single politician is like this. But instead, he decides to single out Trump, which is just absurd.
There's a book. I had the author on my show. It's called Ringmaster. It's a great book. There is an entire chapter about the relationship between sex creep offender, some of the shit he's alleged to have done, Vince McMahon, and Donald Trump. Him and Vince McMahon have a close relationship. They talk a lot. And he breaks it down.
So he's actually lying because he says that they are offenders. I don't think either of them have been found guilty. I don't think Donald Trump has been found guilty of any of that stuff. Obviously, there have been lots of accusations and allegations, but I do not think he's been found guilty or there is proof of any of that being true.
Into how Vince McMahon's tactics of building up an audience and staging things and doing kayfabe, which again, look into it, is being, according to the author, replicated as Trump was the president, ran for president, and ran for president again. It's just...
So he's really being sneaky here. He's just trying to double down on his assertion that the assassination attempt was fake. That's literally what he's saying when he's talking about kayfabe, because kayfabe is literally what wrestling is. It's a show. It's right. It's not actual real. There is no real competition happening. It's all scripted and it's all staged. And that's exactly what he's trying to do here. Very, very weaselly type of behavior here.
read a little bit. You've got to do the research, lady. I didn't just pull out some rando book on the WWE. I pulled out a book about the fucking thing I was speaking about. And
again, he's doing what the typical mainstream media tries to do. They try to destroy people's character with allegations, even though a lot of the times they're false and there's nothing to come of them. They're just literally trying to malign people's character. And that's exactly what David Jaffe is doing here. Very, very cunning, but also very evil and wicked.
I think Trump's assassination was staged. I don't know, but I'll make a deal with you. If you think that's beyond the pale and hard to believe.
Now, he literally has an opinion about this. And the fact that he's saying he doesn't know, I think it is just him trying to protect his own image. He doesn't actually want to share his opinion because he knows that there is overwhelming evidence that his opinion is actually objectively wrong, which again, he already shared what his opinion was when it first happened. He got a ton of blowback for it and he backtracked 100%. And he's still doing that right now.
Eve, I don't know. Then you guys talking about hell going back to Barack Obama not being a citizen, or you guys talking about kids going to school and coming.
So he's completely just now disregarding everything that Various said. He's gone off on a complete and total tangent now in order to try to make his point. And he's not really making any points because he's not actually addressing what Various is saying at all anymore. He's gone completely off topic. It is not actually relevant to the conversation at all anymore now.
Coming home a different sex.
I mean, he's actually trying to apply what other people have said to Vera now in order to try to denigrate her. Again, very cunning, but wicked and evil.
He goes to school and he comes home a few days later with an operation. The school decides what's going to happen with your child.
Do you really want to go toe-to-toe with which political party, Vera, offers up a trough of horse shit? Who's got the most horse shit? I mean, you're not.
I will 100% go toe-to-toe with you, David Jaffe, on that. It is very obvious which one has the bigger pile of horse garbage, horse dung. It's very clear which one has that. I mean, you are literally a living example of that, given the fact that you believe that men can become women and women can become men. And you've, in fact, even admitted or tacitly admitted that you have allowed your own children to engage in this type of behavior and are encouraging it. So it's very obvious which party does that. There's overwhelming evidence against that. Now, that's not to say that the Republicans aren't to blame for a lot of things either, and they're not terrible as well, which they are. But the Democrats are way, way, way more evil, have way more bigger piles of horse dung.
Educated enough. You're not bright enough, Vera, to talk.
So now he's resorting to ad hominem attacks. And this is what we see from SJWs all the time, right? Vox Day has an excellent book, SJWs Always Lie. He writes out all of the 3 laws of the SJWs. What do? They lie, they double down on their lies, and then they project. So what we're seeing here is Jaffy is actually confessing to his own problems, his own character flaws. He is trying to project onto Vera what he knows about himself. I mean, it's very, very telling here. It's so obvious.
Talk to me or to talk about what I talk about. You're just not.
He also said, oh, he's older than me, so he knows more about politics than I do, and that I should, quote, go fuck myself. So I'm one of the grifters he's calling out, even though his definition of a grifter is somebody sitting online, making videos, talking about a game, when he's literally doing the same exact thing. Now,
is that my definition of a grifter? Where are you getting that, Vera Dark, from? Again, Vera, I'm going to give you a little bit of an education here. Jaffy's definition of a grifter is literally sitting online talking about games. You don't believe me? Not a problem. Vera Dark here for you with all the facts. Here's where he defined grifter 2 years ago. What's that you say? Grifter? Grifter, huh? Well, I suppose that's when you play them video games like the Atari, and you have somebody taking a picture of you and you saying, I'm going to say this about the video. I think that's what that's a grifter. Didn't think we'd find.
So I think he's trying to be funny here. That's completely unfunny. And then he also has that clearly demonic image of that's mocking the Last Supper for no reason whatsoever. I don't even know why he included that, but kind of just shows you how unhinged this guy is and how wicked he truly is.
find this, did you, Jaffy? But I'm good at my job. I've never defined grifter as that. A grifter is somebody who makes money off people by lying to them. That's what they do. A grifter is not someone who sits in front of a camera and talks about video games, Fair Dark.
So then that begs the question, why are you calling people who have different opinions than you about Dragon Age Veilguard, about all these other games, about woke ideology in these games that have injected in it, grifters? Are you saying that they're actually lying about what they see? Is that what you're saying, David Jaffe? Is that what you're doing? Are you or are you the one lying about them by calling them grifters because they have a different opinion than you, which then would make you the grifter, right? Where are we at here?
You just don't know how to do this. You don't know how to do this. You are in that chair, Vera, because of your hair and your face and your gender. And that's fine, by the way. There's no problem with that. I don't deny anyone making money and building an audience off, the things that they've got. But let's be clear. So far, my encounters with you online, you're a mental lightweight. And that's fine. People have all kinds of, what I'm bad at, Vera? I'm bad at math, man.
So he just tried to accuse Vera of being a mental lightweight after just completely spazzing out, freaking out, just can't even handle it. And then he's going to give this example, which shows that these people are 100% projecting. Just listen to what he has to say here.
If I was in NASA and they were like, oh shit, the space station's going to explode. Everybody, we can only solve this by looking at the blueprints and the math and the, geometry. I don't fucking know. Jaffy, get in here. Within 5 minutes, they'd be like, Jaffy, go get the coffee. It's not for you. That's okay. They're right.
So this is the guy who is literally accusing Vera Dark of being a mental lightweight. And then he's literally admitting he would be the coffee guy. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, 100% projection. It's absolutely hilarious. And he doesn't even realize it. He doesn't even realize he has no self-awareness. He's completely melting down, spazzing out, and he has no awareness that's what he's doing. He has no awareness.
Your voice could literally get Putin to back out of the Ukraine. The Ukraine was a boy band from the 80s. Ukraine. You have about as much mental capacity as a spider that I killed in my shower this morning. It's the goddamn truth, Vera.
I said.
So there you go. I mean, again, what do? They lie, they double down, and they project. And we just saw it all right there. Total meltdown, total spaz out. He's completely lost his mind. And it's because he's clouded his mind. He's clouded his mind with sin. So he no longer can see what is true, just, and right. He has clearly seen an inversion of that, and he's trying to promote that as good. And we know that is not the case, and we are here to stand against it. So as much as it is funny to laugh at this guy and object to his obviously ridiculous claims, his ridiculous examples, we do need to pray for him. We still should pray for this guy. We need to oppose what he's saying. I think laughter is a good way to do that, but we also need to pray for this guy because he is clearly a very, very troubled individual who has probably significant trauma, and probably is from the fact that of the realization that he is a terrible, terrible father. Well, let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always, always speak the truth.